Buenas tardes, chiquillos. Hoy día vamos a hablar del subjuntivo y de cláusulas nominales y cuando se usa el subjuntivo en cláusulas nominales. Va a ser bastante nuevo y un poquito difícil, entonces vamos a usar el inglés bastante en la presentación. ¿Qué es una cláusula nominal? A nominal clause is a noun clause that takes the place of a noun. Por ejemplo, quiero pan. Pan is working as a noun here, more specifically the direct object. Now, a noun clause is like quiero que me ayudes. This que me ayudes is a subsentence that takes the place of a noun. Okay? What is it that I want? I want you to help me. So both pan and que me ayudes have the same function in the sentence, the direct object. Notice that we've got a note down at the bottom. Subjuntivo is almost always introduced by a trigger verb and the word que. Just as a heads up. Another example. La niña teme monstruos. So again, monstruos is a noun, more specifically the direct object of the sentence, and we can replace monstruos with a sub-sentence. La niña teme que le coman. She's afraid of them eating her. Okay, and both of these, whether it's a noun or a sub-sentence, work as a noun in the sentence, if that makes sense. So, the first situation in which we're going to use subjunctive is with impersonal phrases with the verb ser. Frases impersonales con ser. You got the list on the left-hand side, and the rule is right over here on the right. Okay, anything in this format triggers the subjunctive except, this is the important part, except truth and certainty. So any phrase such as es verdad que, es cierto que, es obvio, or claro, or evidente que, after those you use the indicative, the present indicative, or the past indicative. For example, es verdad que se fue. It's true that he left. Okay, now that uses the past indicative. Es cierto que hace frío. It's true that it is cold. Es posible que pueda hacerlo. Now these ones are examples of when to use a subjunctive. Es posible que pueda hacerlo. And no es cierto que lo haya visto. So these ones are not expressing truth. And because this one has a no in front of it, it is obviously not expressing truth. We're going to use the subjunctive. Ahora, emoción y esperanzas. Emotion and hopes. So if you have different subjects in the main clause versus the subordinate clause, and the verb in the main clause is an emotional verb, then you're going to use a subjunctive. Okay? And that is the rule as to when to use the subjunctive. The main clause has to have a different subject than the subordinate clause. For example, me alegro, the subject is yo, de que estés aquí. The second subject in this subordinate clause is that you, tú. So I'm happy that you're here. Okay? So we have a few examples of verbs. We have regular verbs that trigger this, such as ojalá, okay, esperar que, lamentar que, sentir que, temer que, tener miedo de que. So ojalá que llueva. That's part of a song, a very famous song by Juan Luis Guerra, Ojalá que llueva café. Hopefully it will rain. Well, in the song it's hopefully it'll rain coffee. Espero que vengas. I hope that you come. Lamento que esté enferma. I'm sorry that you're sick. Siento que no puedas ir. I'm sorry that you can't go. Temo que tu tío venga. I'm afraid that your uncle is coming. Tengo miedo de que salga muy pronto. I'm afraid that you will leave soon. More on emoción y esperanzas. Focus on this part down here. We have verbs that are reflexivos, que expresan emoción o esperanzas. Como, por ejemplo, alegrarse de que, to be happy that. Avergonzarse de que, to be ashamed that. We saw this today in class. Notice that it does have that double dot, the umlaut, above the U when we conjugate it into the subjunctive. So, me alegro de que te sientas mejor. I'm happy that you feel better. Te avergüenzas de que él venga. You're ashamed that he's coming. Then we have flip verbs. Encantarle que, to love that or to be enchanted that. Enojarle que, to be angry that. And gustarle que, to like that. And molestarle, to be annoyed. And sorprenderle que, which is to be surprised. So nos encanta que juegan. We love that you play. Nos enoja que nos gritan. Que nos griten. We're angry that that you yelled at us or that you yell at us. Le gusta que ganan. You like that we win. Or he likes that they win. Te molesta que yo haga ruido. Does it bother you that I'm making noise? Les sorprende que lo hagamos. It surprises them that we do it. If we go back to those real quick here. Yeah, so if we look back at these, notice that the main clause, nos encanta, is talking about us, we love. And then the subordinate clause, que jueguen, we love that you or you all play. And that's the way it is with all these. Pay attention to the different subjects in the main versus the subordinate clause. Más de emoción y esperanzas. If the subjects are the same in the main and the subordinate clause, use the infinitive in the subordinate clause. Now this is just like what we have learned since Spanish 1. It's basically one verb followed by another. The second verb you don't conjugate. So for example, sentimos no poder ir a la fiesta. So we don't change the subject throughout it, so we are sorry we couldn't go to the party. Me encantó bailar contigo. I loved dancing with you. Me gustó visitar a mis abuelos. I enjoyed visiting my grandparents. Again, just because we're talking about you here, like I loved dancing with you, that doesn't change the subject. This is a prepositional phrase, and so is this. It talks about who you're dancing with or who you're seeing. It doesn't change the actual subject of who's doing that verb. Voluntad e influencia. So now we're on to a different aspect, will and influence, or volition and influence. Just like with verbs of emotion and hope, these ones you have to have a different subject in the main clause versus the subordinate clause. In this case, the verb will be expressing some sort of influence or volition. So, for example, quiero que cantes conmigo. I want you to sing with me. So, you're imposing your will on someone else or something else. So we have verbs like desear que, empeñarse en que. Empeñarse means to strive to do something. Okay? Insistir en que, necesitar que, oponerse a que. This is to oppose. Preferir que and querer que. So, deseas que yo te bese? Do you want me to kiss you? Se empeña en que la respeten. She strives for their respect. She strives for them to respect her. Insisten en que le paguemos. They insist that we pay her. Or they insist that we pay them. Necesito que me escuchen. I need you to listen to me. Se opone a que abren la maleta. He is opposed to us opening the suitcase. Prefiero que hables español. I prefer that you speak Spanish. Quiero que venga la primavera. I want spring to come. And just like with hopes and wishes, with volition and influence, if the subjects are the same in the main and the a subordinate clause, you use the infinitive in the subordinate clause. For example, deseamos ir solos. We want to go alone. Here is in the infinitive. Insisto en llamar primero. I insist on calling first in the infinitive. Necesitas estudiar in the infinitive. You need to study. Quiero darte un regalo. Dar is in the infinitive. Almost done. Halfway there. Duda y negación. So the main clause, if it expresses doubt or negates reality, then you use subjunctive in the subordinate clause. Wait, I think there's the last one. Good. So dudo que pueda hacerlo. I doubt that he can do it. Ella niega que él lo haya visto. She denies that he has seen it. Now obviously if you're doing something to flip these around so that they are no longer expressing doubt, then they're not expressing doubt, so we're going to use the indicative, whether that's be present or past. So for example, with the subjunctive, dudar que, dudo que venga hoy. I doubt that he comes today. Negar que, niega que sea verdad. He denies that it is true. Puede ser que llueva hoy. Could be that it will rain today. No creer que, no creo que sepa la verdad. I don't believe that he knows the truth. Now, creer is one of those tricky ones. When you flip it to creo que, you're still expressing doubt. So whether there's a no or not a no, then you're still expressing doubt, and you need to use the subjunctive. No decir que, no digo que seas culpable. I'm not saying that you're guilty. No pienso que tú lo hagas. I don't think that you do it. No es que no quiera, es que no puedo. It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. And eso no significa que no te ame. This doesn't mean that, or that doesn't mean that I don't love you.